guys, it's Maria here from mariasaracen.com, and I wanted to do a really quick video for you showing you the all new Webinar Ninja because it's been around for a while, but the new incarnation came out recently and I'm really impressed with it. So if you're planning to run a webinar, if you already have been, or if you want to dip your toe into webinars, this is a really solid and easy option for you to use. I've used a whole variety of different types of software, and I'm going to run through the list very quickly so you know what's out there. But I think that having tried many of the different options available, I really am excited about the new Webinar Ninja, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. So before we start, I want to just mention that the granddaddy of webinar software is generally Gotowebinar. They've been around for a really long time, and one thing that's very exciting is that they now have evergreen webinars available. So in the past, it was always live webinars with replays, but never those kind of on-demand webinars that are pre-recorded but often look like they're live. Apparently, it's something that they just created the capability of doing now. As you can see, their plans are kind of pricey. The starter plan is $89 a month. If you pay annually, you save 20%. So if you're paying only monthly, month to month, you're going to pay $109. So it's kind of pricey. A lot of people swear by Gotowebinar. They think it's the greatest thing, but I have never actually used it simply because it's expensive. And if it's something that you just want to use occasionally or try out, I think that this is not like a beginner level company to go with personally. You may disagree with me. Now, another one is Webinarjam. I have tried Webinarjam. When they first came out, I bought their package. It's really good. It was using Google Hangouts, so a lot of people didn't like that about it, but now from what I understand, it's very different. There's no delay. You know, if you're interested in using any of these, definitely go in and do your research and make sure that the specs fit you. But Webinarjam is also considered a really good company. A lot of people have gone with them. The only thing about Webinarjam is they are expensive. I think it's $497 for the year. And if you want to do those evergreen webinars that I was talking about, so you basically record your webinar and then you just have it running passively in the background. So let's say you do Facebook ads and you send people to your webinar, they can sign up whenever. Unfortunately, you can't do that through Webinarjam. You have to do it through their sister company, which is called Webinar. Now, I have Webinar. I love it. It's a great, great system and it works beautifully. But again, you're talking about a $497 price tag for the year. Again, it's not a huge investment, especially considering that this could be one of the most powerful marketing tools for your business. But if you're starting out and you're just trying things out, or if you want to do webinars just for a launch, like maybe 1 month or a couple of months out of the year, you're not committed to necessarily doing webinars all the time, this may be a bit of a steep price tag to pay. So another option where you don't have to pay for the year is you could use something like Easy Webinar, okay? Now, they've been around for a while too. They've been improving their platform, and they do have a month-to-month option that I just noticed recently. I'm just looking for them. I have not actually used Easy Webinar myself, but I do know people who have, and they say it's good. The one thing, I'm just looking for their pricing, it's $42 a month if you pay annually. So actually you're going to pay, boom, the annual payment is $497. So I'm not sure if you can do it monthly now that I just told you that I thought you could. Yes. Okay. So it's $497 paid annually. So again, you're kind of locking yourself in to this price tag. Webinar Ninja has been around for quite a while, but they totally overhauled their entire system and it's pretty exciting. Right now, you're actually going to pay less than $497 a year if you go with the annual plan. If you go with a month-to-month plan, you can pay $50 a month. So again, this is where you can just have it for a month and then cancel. Their customer support is excellent. I've been in touch with them many times, mainly asking them, when are you going to launch the new Webinar Ninja? Because it took a long time for them to launch this, but they really wanted to get it right. The other beautiful thing about Webinar Ninja is that unlike Webinarjam and Webinar, which I was just telling you about, this one, and then their sister company, this one that does automated webinars, Webinar Ninja does both types of webinars, and actually a variety of different kinds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my account and I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is to set up your webinar. Okay, so basically you're in your dashboard and you hit create new webinar. Now you have 4 different kinds. You can do a live webinar, you can do an automated webinar, so that's like the evergreen, it repeats on certain dates. Now, one little caveat I'm going to tell you that it's different to Webinar, this one over here. Let me just go to the homepage of Webinar, and they're probably going to start yakking at us because they just have an instant video. But one thing that's different about Webinar Ninja compared to Webinar is that they don't have the variety of selection of times. So with Webinar, you might land up on the registration page and it may have like 3 times today that you could watch the webinar, plus a just-in-time webinar. So it'll be like, in 15 minutes, the webinar is starting. Hey, you want to hop on? That is a really nice feature. With Webinar Ninja, unfortunately, you can do automated webinars, but you choose a date. So let's say we wanted to choose tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it repeats you can choose week, day, or month. So we're going to say every day, and we're going to end it on January 15th, say for example, or 31st. Okay, and then what you do is you enter your YouTube video URL, and your event can be free or paid. Boom, create webinar, just like that. So the only downside is your webinar will only run once a day. Now, the good part of that is that if it is an automated webinar, it may appear more realistically to be a live webinar if you're only doing it once a day. With Webinar, it kind of tips you off that it's not a live webinar, because how can somebody be doing it 3 times a day and in the next 15 minutes, you know? So that, for me anyway, someone who's familiar with webinars, I know that, you know, when I sign up for an Webinar, I know it's not going to be live. This one, you might actually make people think it is a live webinar, which may be more appealing to them. There's also a series webinar. So you can do a group of several webinars, and the cool thing about this is once attendees register once, they have access to the whole series. So it's great for courses, it says, and summits. They don't constantly have to sign up for each webinar, which is really attractive. Okay, so you can just call your series whatever the title is. It consists of X amount of webinars. The event is free or paid, and then you just title your webinars and set it that way. A hybrid webinar is very cool, and this is something that I actually like to do. It's basically a pre-recorded webinar that the host can be present on to answer any questions. And this can be very valuable because if people are asking questions during the webinar, you are free and clear to answer those questions as they come in, and the webinar is pre-recorded. A lot of people who teach webinars will say to you, do not do pre-recorded webinars. If you're just starting out, make sure you do live webinars so you can really hone in on your content and get it right. But I have to say, as someone who's a little bit nervous about technology and things failing, I have loved hybrid webinars because I know that the webinar is going to go without a hitch, and yet I'm there to answer questions. Okay, so that's really cool. Right now, I'm going to just do a live webinar so that you can actually see me doing the webinar. So I'm going to call it Test Live, hosted by Maria, December 6th. And we're going to do it at, since it's 2:33, let's make it 2:45, okay? So let's see if we can hurry and get it. I don't know if I can. Yes, I can. That's very nice of them. 2:45. Duration, 1 hour. Okay? So there we go. Create webinar. Now, I'm going to show you how freaking easy it is. Okay, so now go to my webinars. And every webinar that you record through Webinar Ninja, will get recorded and saved for you. Okay, so here's the test live. Now what I'm going to do, you can go on this edit tab, and I can edit the live webinar. So if I want to change any details, I can do that. I can manage co-hosts, and I would have to send an email invite first, so I'm not going to do that. But the registration page, this is basically, they have a variety of pages coming soon. But right now what they have available is this very basic one, but I think it looks good, okay? It's minimalist, and it just looks good. So let's do select. Now if I had uploaded my image, you would see that there. It tells you the time, register now, and I can't do it because it's in the interface. It's not the actual link, it's just a preview. But as you can see, just very nice and neat. You title it, and you're good to go. Very, very easy. Okay, so now I have to go back to my webinars. Sorry guys, didn't click on the right exit button, but I'm going to my webinars now, and I'm just going to show you some of the other edit options. So the registration page, obviously that's important to see. The thank you page, this is where, you know, it says thanks for signing up. Please check your email. We sent you all the info. They can add it to their calendar. It's got the countdown. You can go to the webinar page if they so desire. Are you a fan of Maria? You can subscribe, which is really awesome that they can subscribe right there on the page. And they can also share the webinar. Okay, so I'm going to get out of that. And then email notifications. Okay, so this is really handy because it has pre-written emails to send out at the time of registration, 24 hours before the start time, 8 a.m. the same day, or 3 hours before the start time if it's before 8 a.m. 1 hour before the webinar starts, 5 minutes before the webinar start time, 2 hours after the end, 2 hours after the end. Thanks for attending. Watch again with a replay. So it's if they missed it, they've got you covered with a replay. If they did attend, thanks for attending. Watch again with a replay. And then 2 hours after the end of the webinar, thanks for attending. Now, any of these emails, you can go in, you can change the subject. You can also add a variety of different things with these email tags. So, you know, it's already populated with everything you need, but let's say you wanted to send them to the webinar replay page link. You can just, you know, click on that. You can customize it however you want. And if you don't want to send the particular email that's scheduled, you just click on the send button. You just unclick it and it won't send. Okay? You save and you are good to go. Okay? So these are the email notifications. I'm going to hit back. Simple as that. And then you can view statistics. So once you have your webinar, you can see how many unique visits, how many registrations, attendees, replay attendees, engagement. So did they attend the full webinar? Did they participate in the chat? Did they click on an offer? Click an offer in the replay? All of this fun stuff. And also the registrants and attendees will automatically sign up, and they'll be stored here, and you can export the file if you want to. So, you know, most likely you're going to connect this with your email subscription service, but if you haven't, you can just export the file and then import it into your email subscription service. Okay, so now let's go and enter the studio and see what the studio looks like. So here we go. The very awesome thing about Webinar Ninja is that, okay, so you can test your microphone. Now, what I'm doing is I'm actually using my screen capture software. So it's going to be conflicting if both things are trying to use my camera and my microphone. So I'm just going to click out of it, but I just want to show you a little bit of behind the scenes. So you can test your speakers, your microphone. Can't start your broadcast, you can reset the webinar, which is really nice if something happens and you want to reset. It's not all is lost. And then your camera, you can, you know, pick camera 1. So let's enter the studio and just see what happens if there's a conflict. Luckily not. Okay, so nothing's freaking out just yet. Now, if I wanted to start the broadcast, I could right now. As I was saying, what I love about Webinar Ninja is you don't have to go between two screens, okay? So in the past, I actually once ran a webinar, do not do this, where I was on the screen like this in the broadcast room, and I was on the chat with people and saying, is everyone here? Can everyone hear me? Everything good? And people are like, yeah, we can see you, we can hear you, it's great. I was like, awesome, we're gonna start. And then I switched to my slides, which were in Keynote, because I use a Mac and my slides were in Keynote. And that is where everything went horribly wrong. And because I couldn't see both pages at the same time, I didn't have two computers, I literally ran the first 10 minutes of the webinar and no one could see any of my slides. And I lost so many people. And they were actually on the chat going, we can't see anything. And I wasn't on the chat window, so I couldn't see them freaking out and saying they couldn't see anything. So I unfortunately totally bungled that webinar. And the good news is that with Webinar Ninja, you now do not have to be anywhere but on the actual broadcast page, which is so awesome. So here you can have questions, you can have polls, you can make offers. The offers can pop in at specific time during the webinar. You can show offer, at a specific time. They have some really nice things that are coming soon, but this one you can create. You can click to edit. So there's just so much here that is very, very easy to set up. The chat is on the right-hand side, and so you can easily see everybody. You have all kinds of little emoticons here just to make it extra fun. And then this is where you would share your screen. You can upload slides, so you don't have to go anywhere. Like I said, you don't have to dash off to Keynote or to your PowerPoint presentation. You just upload your PDF or PowerPoint or doc or whatever it is that you're using. You browse, you upload the file, and you can share your slides right in here. You can also upload a video. You can change the layout if you so want. You can add, right now I can't do anything, but you can add multiple people. You can split your screen so that they see you in one half and your PowerPoint presentation in the other, whatever you want, okay? And then these are your settings, again, with your camera and microphone and all that good stuff. So let me see what happens if I just click on Start Broadcast, because I'm just curious. But again, I think there's a conflict between the fact that I'm using my screen capture software and this. So you're not going to see me here, but trust me that it does work. And once you record this, Webinar Ninja is going to save it for you. And then you can replay it. You can use it in I'm pretty sure that you can go ahead and use it in another webinar. So let's say you wanted to do an evergreen webinar, you could do that. It's super, super easy. And also the feature image that the cover image you can change. It's as easy as that. I don't think I've used anything quite this intuitive and simple. And I think simplicity is beautiful for a lot of people because, when we're starting out, we don't necessarily need all the bells and whistles to overwhelm us. It's great to have options. It's great to be able to tweak things and get really nerdy and technical. But when you're first starting out, this simplicity is just a beautiful thing. So if you're interested, you can go to webinarninja.com. Also, if you're so inclined, I have my affiliate link under this video, so I would love for you to use it. No obligation, but it won't cost you a penny more if you do use it. But you can go and actually get a free trial of this so that you can take it for a test drive and see if it is what you've been wishing and hoping and dreaming for in a webinar platform. They have a 45-second video that you can watch. Again, it's going over a lot of the stuff that I showed you. And let me just show you some of the features here because they really are fantastic features. So instead of taking forever to create a webinar in 10 seconds. And literally you practically can. What I went through was very quick and easy. It has built-in marketing, it says. So the great thing is that it is very searchable. They also have they're going to optimize it so people can find you through Google search if you so wish. And they are going to have an index of webinar that they're, creating. So webinars. So if other people are looking for webinars, they can do it through Webinar Ninja and find whatever it is that they're really interested in learning about. Again, instead of fumbling with your slides and using multiple windows, it's all right inside Webinar Ninja. And instead of needing additional software, you can have live webinars, automated webinars, hybrid webinars, sales and summits and courses and all that good stuff, which is so awesome. So I'm also going to show you there's no more 30-second delay. Now that has been an issue with many different webinar platforms. There's no delay with this new version of Webinar Ninja. 10 seconds to create your webinar, manage everything on one screen, no need for additional landing page software. So they create your landing page right there. More templates are coming, but right now what they have is very simple, and I think simple is often the best and the most high converting. And again, they don't make your registrants fill out a form every single time for every webinar. It remembers them and it registers them with one click, which is amazing. And then they go into the technology and the communications. Again, you don't have to hook up your autoresponder to get off the ground and running fast. So if you have like Aweber or MailChimp, or, I use GetResponse, whoever you use, you don't have to hook them up in the beginning, but they use Zapier to make that connection easy, and I believe they're expanding their capabilities very soon so that you don't even need to use Zapier. And yeah, there's built-in marketing as well. So with one click, your webinar is part of the most powerful webinar search engine in the world. They're creating the Webinar Finder. Social media, which was so awesome. It was right there on the sign up page where people could share, and they can also subscribe to you, which is so awesome as well. Like the fact that they can get into your email list, which, to be honest, by signing up for the webinar, they're subscribing anyway, but it's just a neat little feature that they offer that there, and they can get automatic notifications about your upcoming webinars and all that good stuff. Okay, so again, if you want to give it a shot, it's Webinar Ninja. I am very, very happy with it. I'm excited to, get my webinars up and running on their platform again. I have been using EverWebinar. It's a fantastic solution as well, but it's more pricey, and it does that one thing, which is the evergreen webinars, whereas Webinar Ninja is now doing a variety of different formats of webinars, and I think that gives a lot of flexibility and a lot of bang for your buck. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, just email me, or send me a comment either in the box below or at mariasaracen.com. Happy webinar creating, and I'll see you soon for more biz fun and shenanigans. Bye.